My dear students, in this class, let us learn about the fundamentals of meals planning. We all know pretty well that food is the source of energy. Without food, life can't be sustained on the planet Earth. So, it is mandatory for us to supply energy in the form of food. So, your meals should include all the healthy food items and it should have balanced proportions of different nutrients. So, depending on the condition, some animals are carnivores, that means meat eating animals. Some animals are herbivores. Some animals are graminivores, that means they eat only grains. Some animals are insectivores, they eat insects. Like that, if you take human being, even in human societies, you feel some people are vegetarians and some people are non-vegetarians. And basically, according to biology, human being is branded as omnivorous animal because as a species, human being consumes everything. Human being consumes everything. So we have to plan our diet. We have to plan our meals. If you don't plan your meals, you will be inviting death. You will be digging your own grave. Because if you are not planning your meals, it means that you are planning your death. So let us try to be very cautious. Let us try to be very watchful regarding meals planning. Earning a square meal per day is the basic necessity of any human being. And your menu should include healthy foodstuffs like proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, vitamins, minerals, and water. Because water acts as a solvent. Water is the universal solvent. Water is the medium. Even the process of digestion is chemically called hydrolysis. All the digestive enzymes are collectively known as hydrolases. So, all these factors, including water, are the essential ingredients of your meals. So, your meal is a package of all these nutrients. You should not miss any one of them, and you should not overload your meals with any single nutrient. There should be some balance in the distribution of nutrients. Menu differs from individual to individual, of course, because in the previous videos also I told that the tastes differ as rivers differ. So menu naturally differs from individual to individual, and it also depends on the calorific requirements, and gender also plays a major role in the composition of the meals, of course. Men require different calories, women require different calories, and whereas children require different type of calories, different quantity of calories, of course. So this menu depends on men, that means gender, women, children, old aged, patients, athletes, pregnant women, lactating women, because pregnant women need much calories, more calories when compared to the normal women, because she has to supply the nutrients even to the fetus, even to the developing baby. So lactating woman requires some minerals in greater quantities like calcium, of course. So like that, depending on the age group, depending on the gender, depending on the health condition, and depending on your profession, of course, if you're an athlete, you require much calories. That means the menu given to an athlete is totally different from the menu that is given to the normal individual, because athletes will have more exercise, of course. They have more physical stress. So because they have more physical stress, they need much calories. So their menu is obviously different from the menu of the normal man. Meals planning depends on Geography, of course, because the local foods are the healthiest sources of energy. For example, if you go to Kashmir, Kashmir people will eat apple because it's a local food there. And if you come to South India, like Andhra Pradesh, people eat custard apple because that is the local fruit here. Here, the rule is if you have got lemon with you, think of lemonade. Like that, don't run after foreign foods. Of course, now our market is totally loaded with foreign foodstuffs. And many of the vegetables and many of the fruits that you are consuming, they are not native of India. For example, if you take potato, it is not Indian crop. If you take groundnut, it is not Indian crop in origin. Even chili, it is also not a native crop. Of course, with the passage of time, with interaction with so many cultures, we have borrowed certain food materials and we have accepted certain food materials as an integral part of our menu. So, like that, it also depends on geography. Try to include the local foodstuffs, local crops, local vegetables, local fruits into your menu and into your meals. Climate, this should also decide your meals because meal planning should be seasonal. During summer, you have to plan your meal in a different way and it should differ from your winter meal. During winter, you take a different meal, and during summer, you take a different meal because during winter, you should consume such food material which give you more heat energy. And during summer, you have to take such meals which will make you less thirsty. And depending on age, also you have to decide the meals. For children, the meals should be more digestible. You should not give hard material. You should not give the foodstuffs that are very difficult to be digested, that are very difficult to digest. You should not give such foodstuffs to the children. Workplace. This is very important. Nowadays, what we are doing is majority of the youth, they are going to offices and they take their food in the hot packs, of course. In such cases, you don't feel like eating there. As a result, what will happen? The meals you are consuming during holidays is totally different from the meals which you are consuming during working days. So you try to plan the meal which will give you an additional energy in your workplace. And work nature, this is also important because if your nature of work is very laborious, you have to take more calories because you are burning more calories. See that your food should make you more energetic, should make you more compatible with your work surroundings. It should not make you lethargic, of course. Your food should not make you lethargic. Your food should not make you lazy. Instead, better see that your food will make you crazy. And the social status, this is also very important because if you go to certain areas like Rajasthan, previously there were royal kitchens where nearly 100 to 200 varieties of foodstuffs are being cooked. Of course, that legacy was lost, but that legacy was continued in five-star hotel culture. Nowadays, the celebrities' wedding functions are overloaded with these delicacies, of course. So we are living in a society where eating certain foodstuff has become a social symbol. Nowadays, people think that eating millet is a matter of awareness. Eating millet indicates your social status. For some, food is necessity. For some, food is a passion. For some, being foodie is a hobby. But for some, food is the fashion. Anyway, like that, the social status also decides your meals. And taste should be given the least priority. Normally, we give a maximum preference to the taste, of course. This is unhealthy trend. Majority of the foods that are tasty are unhealthy to the body. Yes. And coming to the meals package, you may be a vegetarian, non-vegetarian. Nowadays there is one more concept called agrarian, the person who doesn't touch non-veg but he eats only egg. Such people are called agrarians. Vegans, this is the latest trend, of course. Many of the celluloid celebrities, they are just calling themselves as vegans. Vegan is the person who doesn't touch any animal product, including milk, of course, including milk, because milk is an animal protein. If you are consuming milk, it indicates that you are as good as non-vegetarian. Of course, people do not accept this, but milk is an animal protein. So vegan is a person who does not uh, take who does not consume anything that's of animal origin. Yes. What should be the ingredients of your meals, and how to plan your meal? In your meals, you should take more proteins. More proteins should be consumed because proteins are the building blocks of the body. They are responsible for the maintenance of the health of skin, muscles, bones, blood, hair, whatnot, everything. Remember here, saturated proteins are more harmful when compared to unsaturated proteins. All animal proteins are saturated proteins. I say one thing, saturated proteins are more harmful when compared to unsaturated proteins. And animal meat contains much saturated proteins. So, meat eating is not warranted in point of health. By keeping health as a parameter, it's not advisable to dump meat into your stomach. And another thing you remember, meat is nothing but a flesh. Whether it is chicken, mutton, fish, anything, any meat is nothing but a flesh. And flesh doesn't have taste. To add taste to the flesh, the makers add the masalas or add spices to the meat. As a result, all the meat items, all the non-vegetarian items are spicy. That will damage your digestive tract. Sometimes they may cause certain abnormalities, certain diseases in you. But anyway, anything that is taken in limited quantities is always healthy, of course. My intention is not to make you afraid of meat eating, but only thing is it has got its own advantages and also disadvantages. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the immediate sources of energy, of course. They include sugars, starch, cellulose. But the energy that is trapped in the cellulose is a mere waste. So don't go for eating raw vegetables, raw leafy vegetables like that, because the cellulose that is present in the cell walls of these raw vegetables and the raw leaves can't be digested by you. So try to be very cautious regarding this point. Now, fats. take less fats because fats act as energy depots, but they are playing a crucial role in the generation of heat, of course, and they are the source of insulation because they act as better insulators. Saturated fats are dangerous when compared to unsaturated fats. Already in the previous video, I used one term called PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acids. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are healthy. For example, if you take sunflower oil has got much polyunsaturated fatty acid content when compared to groundnut oil. But of course, your meals include different types of oils and fats depending on the geography. If you go to Kerala, people consume coconut oil and they cook all the materials with coconut oil. And if you come to Andhra Pradesh, they use groundnut oil. If you go to Agra, they use mustard oil. It all depends on the availability. So, which product is locally available? Normally, the items will be cooked depending on the availability of the resources. That's all. And apart from that, vitamins are required, minerals are also required. And remember, your meals should include, that means your menu should include cereals, pulses, fruits. You know pretty well that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And if you want C vitamin, you have to eat amla, and you have to take many vegetables as possible. You consume, and fiber content. This is very important because fiber content in your meals catalyzes the intestinal mobility and intestinal motility, and bowel movement will be regular only in presence of fiber. So try to add much fiber to your meals, and taking fiber content also avoids the possibility of tumors. And milk products should also be included in the meals, especially for children. But this is not true for the people who are suffering from lactose intolerance. If you are suffering from lactose intolerance, in such cases, if you take much milk and much milk products, it may result in flatulence of stomach, and it may lead to some sort of gastric irritation, of course, or sometimes it may cause diarrhea. And sometimes in the people who are old, the renin content will decrease. You know pretty well that renin is the enzyme that is secreted in the stomach, and that is responsible for digesting the milk protein, namely casein. With passage of time, that means with age, the renin content decreases in some people. In such cases, after certain age, if you take milk and milk products, they may not be properly digested. You try to identify, because you have to plan your meals according to your age, according to your health, according to your gender, and according to your needs, and according to your work culture, and according to your climate, geography, etc., and according to your body constitution. This is very important. Don't think that food will be prescribed for everyone in the same manner. It's not possible. Your body constitution may demand a different sort of food. So, if you are suffering from lactose intolerance and if you are running short of renin enzyme, in such cases, do not take milk and milk products. And you try to include nuts, of course, because that is very crucial. That adds to your stuff, of course. It's a quality food. And coming to non-vegetarian, there are many varieties in non-vegetarian foods, of course: chicken, mutton, beef, pork, fish. And you remember, the fish meat is very much rich in omega 3 fatty acid and icosa 3 pentanoic acid. And this omega 3 fatty acid reduces the accumulation of cholesterol in your body. As a result, if you take fish, it prevents you from getting cardiac strokes, cardiac arrest. Even if you are a non vegetarian, even if you eat meat very regularly, if you add this fish as a part of your menu, it reduces the risk of heart attacks. The best evidence for this is Eskimos who are completely non vegetarians. They don't get heart attacks because they consume much of fish in their diet. And eating fish boosts up your memory, of course. So, fish is considered as a brain food. And coming to eating chicken, of course. Nowadays, in the poultry farms, what they are doing is they are giving hormone injections to the fowl in order to boost up the production of egg. In such cases, if you eat the chicken, mutton, which are overloaded with hormones, you may suffer from hormonal disorders. And behavioral disorders may also creep in such cases. And it's reported that in urban areas, the poultry birds are given certain antibiotics, certain medicines like colistin. And eating such birds which are loaded with antibiotics and medicines like colistin will trigger premature puberty in urban women. So, like that, see that the food which you are taking, the non vegetarian stuff which you are taking, should not contain such harmful products, harmful chemicals. Meals should have flavor and taste. Of course, many food additives are added, many spices like pepper, clove, ginger, etc. will be added. And sometimes preservatives may be added because this is a era of fast foods, of course. Food preservatives may be added, antibiotics may be added, and hormonal residues may be there because of the hormonal injections given to certain birds and animals which are reared in animal husbandry. And you can see the beautiful red chilies here, which are nothing but methania red chilies. And you believe, hotness is not the original taste; it is the acquired taste. And this chili contain capsinoids, certain capsinoids. And your body, once you start eating chili, your body will get addicted to capsinoids. That is the reason why if you consume certain chili products, you feel like eating it again and again because you get addicted to that. So certain foods will have this addictive power. And in the entire world, Thailand people eat more capsicum, more chilies. Hotness of chili is measured by Scoville scale. Scoville scale. Hotness of chilies is measured by Scoville scale, and ghost chili is the variety, and it is rated more than 1 million Scoville heat units. And you believe hotness is an acquired taste. Taking chili as a part of meals, it's required, of course, but if you take or if you consume excess chili, it may cause ulcers. Sometimes it may cause cancers. But it should be included as an integral part of your diet because in required quantities it's needed. Chili is needed, chili powder is needed because that hotness is required to trigger the action of certain enzymes to stimulate the digestion path. to stimulate the digestive activity, because your stomach, your intestine needs certain stimulants for the secretion of enzymes that can be done through chili. So include chili, but not in greater quantities. And sometimes your meals may include welcome drinks like lemon, like South Indian rasam, like that. Soups, of course, it is a welcome drink. It's an appetizer. Appetizer are the items which increases your hunger. And in certain areas, that means in foreign countries, coffee is taken at the end of meals. Don't mimic them, don't follow them, don't imitate them, because India is a tropical country. Already your body temperature is maintained without any external help. In such case, after meals, if you take coffee immediately, what will happen? The temperature of your digestive tract will be increased, leading to the malfunctioning of enzymes. It is advisable to take coffee if you are in US, United States of America. And there, that means if you are inhabiting the area of extreme cold, your meals may also include alcohol, because alcohol is nothing but a fuel. But for Indians, it's not required. I pray for Indians, it's not required. And ice creams, of course. It's a matter of taste, of course, but this is also not advisable. But once in a blue moon, you can take these ice creams as a part of your meals. But whatever may be, the very purpose of food is to provide energy and to provide health. And now let me list out certain peculiar items of your menu. There is one fruit called Durian fruit. Durian fruit. And this Durian fruit emits a stinking odor. Some people feel that it emits the odor of fecal matter. And it is banned in some countries. It is banned in some countries. That means in public transport, the governments of some countries, they don't allow this Durian fruit. It is the world's smelliest fruit. Durian fruit is the world smelliest fruit. And there is one more vegetable called petai bean. Petai beans. Petai beans is another stinking vegetable that is consumed in Nagaland and Manipur. It emits the odor of the urine because it contains one amino acid which have that flavor, which have that smell. So all said and done, all said and done, your food is always your choice. And don't try to judge people, don't try to divide people basing on the food. Whether you are veggie or whether you are vegan or non-vegetarian, it's only your comfort, it's only your individual choice. So try to plan your meals according to your needs, and try to plan your needs according to your health condition. So that's about meals planning, my dear students. And remember, once again, dear students, the moment you stop eating your dinner starts eating you. The moment you stop eating your dinner starts eating you. So try to be very cautious of your food. Be aware of what you eat and try to plan your meals. Thank you very much. Meet you with some other lesson tomorrow.